Want to supercharge your productivity with AI? In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a seamless automation that takes any link you want to share from your iOS device and automatically imports it into a Notion database for you. No more manually trying to organize links or just losing links that you want to check out later. This AI workflow will do all the heavy lifting for you. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through step by step the setup using iOS shortcuts, Pipedream, Apify, and OpenAI. By the end of this video, you'll have a fully functioning automation that does the exact same thing you're going to see here. It's going to save your Notion links, scrape the web pages to get the content, summarize it for you, and then add any notes that you may have added during the sharing process. Whether you're a content creator, a researcher, or somebody who just is passionate about being able to save links and not losing them, this automation will transform the way that you manage information within your day-to-day life. Plus, I'm going to share the public template that you can steal from me in order to create the exact same automation for yourself and have it set up by the end of this video. All the configurations, the prompts, everything that we've done has been tried and true and tested by ourselves and our automation clients. Now, if you have any questions, I want you to feel free to drop them down in the comments below. Or if our automation community is open to the public, it'll also be linked in the description below and you can go there and get help. But I want you to make sure that you stick around until the end of this video because I have something special for you. At the end of this video, I'm going to reveal some special bonus tips on how you can customize this workflow specifically for yourself and tailor it to your specific needs. Ready to automate your productivity and save a ton of time? Let's get started. Awesome. And so let's do a quick demo before we dive into actually building the automation so you know what it is that you're building. And at the end of this, again, I'm going to show you guys how you can retrofit this to Airtable, Google Sheets, whatever your data source of choice may be. I like Notion, so that's where we're keeping it for now. And so on the right-hand side, you can see my iPhone screen, playing around with it down here. And let me move that out of the way so the recording button is not in the way. But I'm going to show you an example. Great. And so let's dive into a demo before we actually start implementing the automation itself, because I want you guys to see what it is we're going to be building so you can get excited about that. And so what we're building is a tool that, again, is going to take any link we share from our iOS device, which you can see I have up on the right. I actually have my iPhone attached into my MacBook right now. And then that's going to save that into a saved links database within your Notion workspace. And at the end of this video, I'll talk about how you can change this over to be Airtable, Google Sheets, whatever your data store of choice is. But for now, let me move my head over here so it's not in the middle of this. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to share the link to my Pipedream template, this public template that I'm going to be sharing with you at the end of the video, so you can create your own automation exactly like this. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to share this link to my data store via the iOS shortcut that we created on Pipedream. And so what you do is you'll hit share right here at the bottom. And from there, you'll get a bunch of different options to be able to share. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll down to the shortcut I created, which is right here, save content for later, if you can see it. And then what that's going to do is it's going to ask you for any additional input. I'm going to say, install this Pipedream workflow later. And you can also send it without any notes, but if you want to add a note, it's a nice little feature to have. I'm going to hit done. And what that's going to do is it's going to send it over to my Pipedream automation. That Pipedream automation is going to run, and then it's going to populate this within here. There's going to be a little bit of silence while this happens because the Pipedream workflow is running. So if you want to skip forward to the next spot, you can do that. There should be like a bookmark. If not, we can just wait and watch together. There we go. So it popped in, and you can see it pulled the title from the actual title of the web page itself. And then it has the URL here, which you can then quick reference. I'll put this URL in the description as well. Let's go back to saved links. And then what I'm going to do is inside of here, you can also see that there's there's the notes that you left and a quick summary. And what this summary is and how it was created is we actually use Apify to scrape the web page itself of all the text content, take our notes, and it creates a summary and notes based on the note that we sent and the content of the web page. And so that's the automation we're going to be building. Hope you guys are excited. Let's dive into actually getting this set up. Awesome, guys. So to start off this automation, the first thing we're going to want to do is we need to actually get the template of this workflow installed into Pipedream. And so that's what we're going to execute first. And so you should be able to find a link down in the description that just says link to automation template. Go ahead and click that, and that's going to take you to a page that looks like this. Now, if you don't have a Pipedream account, once you hit configure, you're going to have to sign up for one. But if you already have one, it'll just import it into your existing account. If you're not using a Pipedream, I highly recommend you do, because it's a platform I use every day for automations. It's just much easier to use than other platforms for me, and it makes it really easy for me to manage my clients' automations because it has really good error reporting, everything, etc. But I'm not going to do a whole pitch on Pipedream right now. If you guys want to learn more about Pipedream, let me know. I'll create an entire different video on it. But with that being said, first thing you're going to want to do is hit configure. And what that's going to do is it's going to break it into your account. And you can either add it to an existing project or you can create a new project. For now, I'm going to create a new project. I'm going to call it iOS Shortcuts Demo. I'm calling it demo because I'm showing it here. I'm going to create the project and continue. And then there's one thing we're going to want to change under controls here. I want to set the timeout to 2 minutes. The reason being is because OpenAI can take a really long time to run. And if OpenAI does take a long time to run and we have this timeout set to 15 seconds, it's just not going to work, right? It'll just fail. And so I like to set it to 2 minutes. That way, if OpenAI does take a while to respond to us, the workflow itself won't fail. And so from there, you're going to go ahead and hit create workflow. And so I'm going to do that right here. Then you should see a screen that looks like this. And there's a few things that we have here, right? The first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to want to hit save and continue here so that we actually have a webhook that is created. And we're going to want to save this later, or for later rather. And so just go ahead and copy this now. And we're going to be using this webhook within our iOS shortcuts to make this automation work. Pardon all the jumbling over myself. It's a little bit late. So I guess English is not my forte right now. From here, you can leave this step. This is just something we need for Apify that's a little bit wonky. But what we're going to do is you're going to want to come in here and you're going to want to connect an Apify account. Now, if you don't have an Apify account and you want to support the channel, it would be greatly appreciated. You can go to goapify.com or click the Apify link in the description below, and that's my affiliate link. It basically gives me a small commission every time somebody signs up for Apify, and it helps me to continue supporting this channel so that I can continue to put out content like this, helping you guys create automations for yourselves. And so if you don't have an Apify account, go ahead and do that. If you do, just hit connect new account, and then you'll need to grab an API token from your Apify account. If you don't know how to do that, you can simply Google it. It'll be the first search result on Google. I promise you it's super easy. And then you'll copy and paste that in here, hit save, and you're good to go. From there, I'm just going to select the Apify account that I already have connected, and that'll be right here. And then the actor ID itself, we're going to want to do the website content crawler. And so we'll hit test there, and then it should set everything else up for you. You shouldn't have to do anything else within here. You can just hit test. Oops, I should have ran this part first. And it's also not going to have a URL, so we can't test it. But we'll skip over that. Everybody ignore that I just made that mistake. From there, what we're going to want to do is to actually get an Apify run result, because it takes a while to run. You need to go ahead and query the Apify API until that run is done. I've already done that for you, so there's nothing you need to do here besides connect your Apify account. Under chat, if you want to, you could choose to change the prompt. This is the prompt I used because it worked for me. If you want to use a different one, be my guest. But it puts in the notes from the user and the web page text, and I'll show you guys what that is in a sec. What you are going to want to do, though, is just connect an OpenAI account, and then from there, you'll want to connect your Notion account. And so let me grab my Notion account here. And as far as that goes, we're going to want to connect a database. And right now, that database probably doesn't exist within your Notion dashboard, but in the description below, I also included a link for the free template for the Notion database that I use called Saved Links. And so all you need to do is you can just go to the link in the description below for the template, come up here in the top right, and then just hit duplicate, and you'll duplicate it to your own workspace. And you should have a database there. You'll be able to select it called Saved Links. And then from there, you can hit test once it's done. Obviously, we don't have any content yet, so we can't test it. But here's where the fun part comes in. We're going to actually set up the iOS shortcut, and then from there, our automation is basically done. And so remember that webhook URL I told you to save before? Well, we're going to need that now. What you want to do is you want to either text or email this link to yourself, however you can get it to your phone, and then I'll meet you over on my iPhone in a second. Cool. And so I have my messages pulled up right here. This little pipedream.net URL is the one I want to grab, and you'll copy that. And from there, you're going to go to shortcuts. Under shortcuts, you're going to want to hit the plus icon in the top right. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to add a new action. The action we want to run is called get content from URL, or get contents of URL rather. When you do that, there's this little arrow on the right hand side. You're going to want to click that, and you're going to change the method to post. And where it says URL right here, you're going to paste the URL that we just copied from our text messages. The last thing we need to do is we want to set up the keys, and we have two keys that we're going to send. The first is the URL itself, and let me just pull up the Pipedream automation to make sure that that's correct. I'll pull up my own version of it. Give me one sec. Great. And so the other one is called Notes. And so what we're going to want to do from here is we'll hit done, and we have to make a few more changes. So this little information icon at the bottom, you should have just seen it light up. You're going to click that, and we're going to want to turn on show in share sheet and also use it in quick action. From there, I'm also going to pin it to the menu bar because that's also helpful for me at some points. You don't really need it, but show and share sheet is really the only thing you need. From there, double check. I think that's it. Yep. So now you can see this share sheet thing is going to be showing up at the top as an input. For the URL, you're going to take the shortcut as the input for the URL. And then under notes, what we're going to do is we're going to add another action. And that action is just going to be, if you type in input, it is called something. I just scrolled over it. I don't know why, but it's called ask for input. This one right here under scripting. And we're going to want to grab that and drag that above the get contents of URL. And from here, I'll just call this input notes. So that way I know to input notes. You can do whatever kind of query or prompt that you want for the user. And I'll show you where that pops up in a sec. And so what I'm going to do is under notes, I basically want to take the provided input and put that as the notes. From there, I'm going to hit done. But first I'm going to name this, and I will name it send link to Notion demo because I already have one. I just want to know which one's which. I'll hit done. And now we have that shortcut, and now we can test our automation. And so let's come into here. I'm going to open this back up, and I'm going to shrink my screen a little bit so that we can watch along as I do this. I have a lot of people ask me what my browser is. It's called Arc. If you guys want to check it out, it's pretty cool. I do not have an affiliate link for that. But here we have 7 new events. That's just from a bunch of GET requests that we want to ignore. But you can see we have send link to Notion demo. I'm going to open Safari again. I'm going to hit share. And then what you should see down here is send link to Notion demo, right? I'm going to click that. And then let's add some notes here. Install this, my friend. Done. And now, I just say always allow. And now you should see inside of Pipedream, you have one new event, and it's a post request. We want to select that, and you can see that it sent the notes and the URL directly to this request. And so the last thing we're going to do is we're going to hit test workflow. I want you to see that there are currently 4 pieces within this database. Let's hit test workflow, and let's make sure it works. Maybe we will have some bugs, but we're going to find that out, and you'll get to see my debugging method if there is. If not, great, it works. We're happy, right? And what I'm going to do is, so you guys don't have to watch through a giant pause again, is I'm going to pause this video, and then once it completes running, I'll show you the results. Cool, and so it looks like it ran successfully. I haven't checked save links yet, so let's see. Is there a 5th item? There is, but it looks like it actually failed to pull the URL and the new page. But it did summarize it properly. Great, let's go ahead and actually go in here and see why that happened. Oh, it's because I forgot to add that. So we have to add property types for some reason. I don't know why that wasn't added by default. But let's add the URL. Let's click notes. Let's add name and then status. We'll leave status blank. From there, what we can do is we want to grab these. So the URL we want to grab from the trigger notes. And then name we want to grab from the actual scraper. Get page text. And then under data, metadata, there's a title. So we'll grab that. I'm going to rerun this Notion insert. I don't know why the automation didn't keep that, but that's okay. You'll just have to set this up in your template when you do it. I sent the new template here. Well, now it has all the information we need. So the one thing we do have to do, looks like everything else is super easy to set up just for Notion. You want to make sure that you select property types, and then use the URL, notes, and name and set them up the way I just showed you. But other than that, that's it. That's how you set up the automation. And as far as customization goes, I want to give you guys a few ideas. And so not everybody loves Notion. I know there's a lot of people who don't like it. I love it. I'm a fan. I've been using it for like 4 or 5 years now. But if you did want to use this for another platform, it's super easy, right? All you would have to do is you create an Airtable, just so you created your Notion database, or you create a Google Sheet. And then all you need to do from there is when you're adding a row, right, for those specific columns, you would just grab the data that you want to insert. Super simple. And so that's it. That's how you guys set up an iOS shortcut so you can directly save links from your iPhone, from your iPad, from your Mac, directly into a Notion database. If you guys have any questions around that, comments, concerns, or you want to learn more, feel free to leave a comment below, and I'm happy to help. See y'all.